Okay, am I crazy or does this guy look a little bit like a teenage Elvis? Look and see what you think. Hey everybody, welcome back to Riffs and Reactions. This is Barry, and today we're doing one from Arcade Fire. And this band I'm familiar with. I do remember seeing them on, I don't know, maybe some of the late night shows, maybe MTV. I don't remember it. I just remember the name mainly, and I think it was a pretty big band, pretty eclectic instrumentation and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but anyway, the name of the song is Rebellion, and this is a super thanks request from Paul BP. So thank you, Paul, and let's go. That's pretty cool. Okay, it's a pretty interesting song, and this is the band I remembered because I just remember so many instrumentations. And I know this is way, way off the wall here, but the lead singer, I don't know his name. In this video, all right, I told you this is insane. But he looks like, all right, he looks like a teenage Elvis Presley. Um, I don't know if you have ever seen a photo of Elvis like from his school days, before the jet black hair and all that stuff. This guy's got Elvis had almost the same kind of that something about this guy's eyes and maybe his nose. Um, listen, my mother was the biggest Elvis fan in the world, and I couldn't escape it growing up. So I know way too much about Elvis. And I'm telling you, this guy looks like a teenage Elvis. Um, I, I told you it was off the wall. I told you. All right. So after watching Arcade Fire and Rebellion Lies, I wanted to do a little more digging because I really wasn't sure what I had just watched or exactly what the song was trying to say. So, first of all, the song came from Arcade Fire's debut album called Funeral, which was released in 2004. See, and I was thinking this was even in the 90s, but it wasn't. It was mid 2000s. And apparently, that album title wasn't chosen randomly. Several of the members of the band had experienced death in their families around the same time the album was being made. So themes of death and childhood and the growing up and loss run throughout the entire album. And knowing that definitely makes the video a little bit, makes it make a little more sense to me. But the song itself is interesting because on the surface, it almost sounds like it's coming from the mind of a kid who doesn't want to go to bed. And the basic idea starts with sleeping as giving in. Adults telling children they have to go to sleep. They tell them things to scare them or to keep them in line. And the child basically responds, "You're lying to me." And apparently, one interpretation of the song is that it starts with that very simple childhood rebellion and then becomes something much bigger. Because eventually you grow up and you start realizing that maybe some of the things adults told you weren't necessarily true. And when you start wondering, what else have I been told that isn't true? So sleeping can become a metaphor for going through life with your eyes closed, accepting what you're told instead of questioning it. And suddenly that repeated idea of closing your eyes makes a lot more sense to me. So the video takes all of that into a much darker place. You've got these children moving through this strange world, and you've got adults who appear almost lifeless. And eventually you've got a cemetery and the whole burial imagery. I don't think there's necessarily one literal storyline we're supposed to say, okay, this person died and then this happened. So to me, after looking into the song, it feels much more symbolic. You've got children, adults, sleep, and death. It's all mixed together. And I wonder if what we're seeing is partly about that transition from childhood into adulthood, the loss of innocence, and eventually the realization that none of us are going to get out of this thing alive. And that would certainly fit an album called Funeral for sure. And maybe that's why the song itself sounds relatively upbeat and energetic, while the imagery and the ideas underneath it are actually pretty dark. So now, does understanding all of that suddenly make me love the song? Not really. I mean, it's still pretty much that it's just okay. I didn't dislike it. It was pleasant enough, but musically there just wasn't anything that reached out and grabbed me and made me think, oh, I've got to hear this again. But I will say I find the song more interesting now than when I was actually listening to it. Once you start looking underneath it and thinking about childhood and sleep and death and growing up and questioning all the things you've been taught, there's definitely more going on here than you might realize it on first listen. And I think that's where you arcade fans are going to come in. So, what do you think Rebellion is actually about? And especially if you know the video, what do you think all that funeral and burial imagery represents? I'm curious about your opinion on that. Just put them in the comments down below. And listen, once again, a huge thank you to Paul BP for the super thanks request and supporting the channel. And if you want to do what Paul did and request your own reaction video, consider sending a super thanks. There's a short video coming up that at the very end that tells you exactly how you can do that. And if you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a new reaction video. And don't forget to share this with your friends. That really helps the channel out a lot, and I'd appreciate that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support, And we'll see you next time here on Riffs and Reactions. Y'all take it easy. If you want to make a request and help support the channel, a super thanks is always greatly appreciated. And here's how you do it. Just look for the little heart with the $sign in it. That's the super thanks button. When you click it, you can leave a small tip, and it also highlights your comment. Just include the band name, the song title, and the version you want me to react to. Not every video has super thanks enabled, so if you don't see the button, just scroll through my channel and find a video that does. Thanks so much for your support. It really helps the channel grow, and it keeps these reactions coming.